Crocheted Lace Cords Tutorial 12. This time I will be making curved crochet cord with square spaces. Later we will use this cord to make lace projects. Make a foundation chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And continue with 2 double crochet cluster stitch. Chain 2 more for the first double, then start a double crochet through the third chain stitch away from the hook. Work it until you have 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and complete the cluster. Now make a double crochet in each of next 3 chain stitches. 1, 2, and the last double crochet stitch through the next stitch, 3. And through the last chain stitch make a 2 double crochet clusters. Start the first double, work it like you would until you have 2 loops on the hook, then start the second double through the same last chain stitch. Work until you have 3 loops on the hook, then yarn over and complete the cluster. Turn the work counterclockwise and continue with 2 double crochet cluster. Again, chain 2 to replace the first double. Work a double crochet through the same stitch that the chain stitches are coming out of. Work until you have 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and complete the cluster. Continue with 3 chain stitches for the chain space and make a single crochet stitch in 2 loops of the last cluster stitch. Turn the work and work the cluster again. Chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet through the same first stitch. 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and complete the stitch. Then double crochet 3 into the following chain space. 1, 2, and 3. And make a 2 double crochet cluster in 2 top strands of the cluster stitch. Start the first double, work until you have 2 loops on the hook, then start the second double through the same stitch, work until you have 3 loops on the hook, then yarn over and complete the cluster. Now turn the work and work the cluster stitch again. Chain 2 to replace the first double and work the second double through the same stitch. You have 2 loops, yarn over and complete the stitch. Chain 3 and single crochet through the cluster stitch. Now turn the work again and work a cluster stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2 to replace the first double and work the second double through the same stitch. Then double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster through the last cluster stitch. You can see that our cord is turning to one side. Here we've made 3 sections of the cord, 1, 2, and 3. We will repeat and make 2 more sections like this. So work until you have 5 sections or 5 rows of double crochet stitches. Let's continue. Work the cluster, then chain 3 for the chain space and work a single crochet through the cluster stitch. Turn the work the cluster, chain 2 for the first double and work the second double through the same stitch. Then double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch through the last stitch. We have 4 sections already. Now turn the work, make a cluster, chain 2 and a double crochet through the same stitch. Cluster is ready, then chain 3 for the chain space and make a single crochet through the last stitch. Turn the work a cluster stitch, then double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster through the last stitch. Start the first double, work until you have 2 loops, start the second through the same stitch, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and complete the cluster. We've made 5 sections or 5 rows of double crochet. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that our cord is turning to one side. Now we're going to continue and turn it to the other side. Let's continue. Turn the work, chain 1 and single crochet through the first stitch, chain 3, and through the last stitch work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch. Now turn the work, make a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2 and double crochet through the same stitch, double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch through the last stitch. Now continue, turn the work, chain 1 and single crochet through the first stitch, chain 3 for the chain space, and through the last stitch work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch. Turn the work again, make a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2 and double crochet through the same stitch, double crochet 3 into the chain space, and work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch through the last stitch. So start the first double, then start the second and finish the cluster. Now you can see that the cord is turning to the other side. We need to make 3 more sections to turn the cord to the other side. Here we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sections, and here we have only 1, 2, and we need to make 3 more sections. So continue, chain 1, single crochet through the first stitch, chain 3 for the chain space, and through the last stitch work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch. Turn the work, make a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2 and double crochet through the same stitch, then double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster stitch through the last cluster stitch. Here we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So we need to make 2 more. Turn the work, work chain 1 and single crochet through the first stitch, chain 3 for the chain space and 2 double crochet cluster stitch through the last stitch. Turn the work, chain 2 and double crochet through the same stitch, then double crochet 3 into the chain space, 2 and 3, and through the last stitch work a 2 double crochet cluster. We still need to make 1 more section, so chain 1, single crochet through the first stitch, then chain 3 for the chain space and 2 double crochet cluster through the last stitch. Turn the work, work the cluster again, chain 2 and double crochet through the same stitch that these chain stitches are coming out of, then double crochet 3 into the chain space and work a 2 double crochet cluster into the last cluster stitch. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to turn to one side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the other side. Here's the front side of the cord. Here is the back side. You can change the amount of sections, turning the cord more to one side or to the other side. Here I have the same cord made of variegated yarn. It looks beautiful. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe.